What's going on, my Central Guinness? It's the Central Man here. So this is on my secondary channel, Central Man Sports. It's been a long time since I did a video on this Central Man Sports channel. The last time I did a video, I think it was a live stream on Thomas Tuchel becoming England manager. That was in, I think it was October, November. Since then, I haven't really done a video on the secondary channel ever since. I focus doing videos on my main channel, Central Man Network, but and also at the same time I was busy, and also I was struggling to come up with ideas. So I'm planning to grow the secondary channel. You know, I'm gonna do an update video on the secondary channel pretty soon. Stay tuned. Be patient. So I'm trying to grow the Central Man Sports channel, and I just come up one idea for this video on this channel is Mikel Arteta. So it's been 24 hours since Arsenal's Champions League semi-final defeat to PSG. That's short for Paris Saint-Germain if you live under a rock, not the rock. Anyway, so it's not just the PSG game, it's his time at Arsenal. You know, he took the job in December of 2019. During his 5 years presence run as Arsenal manager, he guided Arsenal to the FA Cup in 2020 in COVID time. Since then, the Gunners haven't really won a major trophy ever since, 2021. They got knocked out by Villarreal in the semi-finals of the Europa League. And then a year after that, they got knocked out in the League Cup semi-final to Liverpool. In the past two seasons, in 2023 and 2024, Arsenal were in the title race. You thought they're going to win the title for the first time since the Invincible season. Unfortunately, in the first title race, they bottled an 8-point lead. Man City, won that title. They went on to do the treble, and then the following season they did the four-peat. Because Arsenal lost to Aston Villa in April. I think it was a few days before the second leg of the Champions League quarterfinal tie against Bayern Munich, and now, they just they crashed out to PSG. So 5 years, going on 6 years since the Gunners last won a major trophy. I think this dude has to go, and also look at his league performances or league finishes. So his half season, Arsenal finished 8th. His first full season, aka/second season, 8th again. No European football for the first time since 1996. Third season, or second full season, they finished 5th. Missed out of qualifying for the Champions League. They lost to Tottenham. The past two seasons, they finished 2nd. So far, the second place only just. They got the final 3 games of this season. They're unlikely going to drop off the second place position. They'll probably finish 3rd, 4th, 5th. And I'm not saying league performances are the accolade, the accomplishment, but so far I spent a lot of money. I don't know how much money this Arsenal spent in those past 5.5 years. I think it's about 700 million, 800 million. It's got to be close to that $1 billion pound mark on his own players, and so far they're just not delivered. Not all, but the majority. I'm not going to mention names, but this guy's just can't really cut the mustard. Let's be honest. He's an assistant manager. this is before his time at Arsenal. You know, as Arsenal manager. You know, he was Pep Guardiola's assistant at Manchester City. Then he's Arsenal manager in the autumn, not the autumn, in late 2019. So far, like I said, one FA Cup in the summer of 2020 in the COVID era. Since then, you know, let's give him some dues. He did make Arsenal competitive. You know, title races, get into semi-finals in Europe and in cup competitions, but so far, no trophies. One trophy in 5 years. That's silly. That's truly not good enough. I'm sorry, that's truly not good enough for, for Arteta, But the problem is, it's his style of play. He's just doing this, he thinks he's Pep Guardiola, he thinks he's copying Pep, because he's too lazy to come up with his own style of play. And, and there's a lot of, dipshits out there, not mentioning them, I'm praising this. It's I think, the fans are turning against him. Is he going to get sacked? I think he needs to go, let's be honest. This guy is just not that good. He's just been winking it for the last few years. He should have got sacked when they got beat by Villarreal, 4 years ago. You can't keep this manager, because he's there until 2027, but, what are they going to do in the next 2 seasons? It'll be the same repeat results, If you want the different results, you got to change things up. This guy ain't going to win you the title. He ain't going to win you a trophy in Europe, or even more cups. He's just, he's average. Let's be honest, And people are accepting this, since 2020. It's just ridiculous how this guy is so protected, even though he's just competitive, but at the same time, no trophies on the table. It's I think the Arsenal board is so spineless and pussy whipped, same as the fan base, or the majority of the fan base, because I think they praised him because he was the captain. Actually, he's the vice captain when Arsenal ended the trophy drought in 2014. Thomas Vermaelen, if you don't know him, was the Arsenal's first captain, and Arteta was the vice captain. But he was the captain in that FA Cup final win against Hull City. Won the FA Cup. Since then, he won another FA Cup. And then he retired. Pep's assistant. Now he's the Arsenal manager. He's just a bang average player and a bang average manager. I don't understand why people are seeing into him. He ain't gonna win Arsenal trophies. I think it's so embarrassing. Arsenal have only won 2 European trophies in the history: the Intercity Fairs Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup. They haven't won a major European trophy for 31 years. It's going out now. It's extended to 32 years. Look at other English clubs left in Europe. Man United and Tottenham. They got better. Man United's got really a European pedigree. They're likely to go through. They beat Bilbao 3-0. They're in the final. They're on the verge of reaching the final. Tottenham, they got also a better European pedigree than Arsenal. They're gonna likely they're gonna qualify for the Europa League final as well. And Chelsea, they're in the Conference League final. You got teams had better pedigree than Arsenal. Let's be real. Because Arsenal's got to be one of the worst teams to represent England in European competitions. Every time they qualify for Europe, whether it's the Europa League or the Champions League, they bottled it. They're alright against small teams. When they faced a big team, they capitulated. I think the board, I blame this on the board. I think the board is the reason why, Arsenal ain't winning trophies. They just don't have any ambition I don't know, decide to win trophies. They don't see Arsenal in the next 10, not really 10, 5, 10, 15 years. They just focus on money, 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 money. That's all it is. Like, they got this Andrea Berta. I'm not going to judge him yet. We're in May. I'm going to judge him in the summer, see what he can do in the summer. Until then, it's going to be, for Arsenal, a bland and a bleak summer. And also, the one thing that really grinds my gears is not just the Arsenal fans online, but the rival fans, fans who support different teams, like sucking off Arteta and Arsenal, saying they're dangerous and scary without any footballing reasons why. They come up reasons, they're not really footballing reasons why they're scary or talented monsters, That's another video for another time. I don't want to talk about in this video. It's just like, stop like gaslighting this dude. Like, they really push this dude's ego and put it in a high pedestal. The guy, he thinks he's like, they're so delusional. Like, this guy's like, he's the savior. He's probably Arsenal's best manager or most successful manager. Even though, like, Arsene Wenger, he'll never be like Arsene Wenger. Like, Wenger's won 10 trophies. I don't count the Community Shield. That's a charity game, but 10 trophies. 3 Premier League titles and 10 FA Cups. No, 7 FA Cups. What am I fucking saying? 7 FA Cups and 10 3 league titles. He's won 10 trophies. Wenger. Arteta won 1. Jules Graham won 6. Yes, it's like he's 1 trophy behind Wenger. I'm talking about in this Monday Arsenal, I'm not talking about Herbert Chapman and in the past, but like, this guy is just, he's just a Spanish version of Roy Evans. Let's be honest. Look at Roy Evans. People praise him because he's part of Liverpool's boot room. He's won an FA Cup. Not FA Cup, he won a League Cup in '95. And about 3 years later, he resigned. And it's funny, Liverpool, I think they're trying to replace him. They're trying to do this co-manager thing. Him and Gerard Houllier as co-Liverpool managers. Didn't pan out. Roy left. Houllier took over. And what's he done? Liverpool will start winning trophies again. They make the change. You can't just keep picking this manager or pick this guy as the manager because he was part of the trophy drought, ended the trophy drought. You give him a lot of money, it's not him. Actually, it is him, because look at the players he's bought. Most of them are just club signings, but I think the 3 players was picked was Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, and Raheem Sterling. Like, those are these players. Like, let's be honest, who wants to play for Mikel Arteta? This guy has no winning pool. Like, to attract the big players, like, you need, to attract the big players, you got to, like, the only way you attract big players if the manager wins something. So far, he's won 1 FA Cup in 5 years. I think most of these players he bought was club signings. And they're not gelling. Like, Odegaard's captain. The guy's, I don't know how much we pay him, 35 million? He's not worth 35p. He's Arsenal captain. He was ghosted in those 2 games. And against Real Madrid and other big games I can't think of. He put Miles Skelly in that game against PSG. He was out of his depth. He played well against Real Madrid, but against PSG, he was out of his depth. Like, you got players that don't want to be there. I think they are so hindered about. They're so hindered. Let's be honest, they're so hindered. They're not really getting the best out of the team. I think it's due to Arteta's tactics. They're not working. He's just copying Pep. And it's just what it is, man. People just believing that this guy is going to be the be all and end all. He's not. You know, I think they need to cut ties, pull the plug on his experiment, and maybe get a better coach. But yeah, you got Arsenal fans online saying who is realistic, you know, shooting down managers. They're not really fit Arteta's profile or the Arsenal profile. Like they say, what are you done for this club and that club? Even though they won trophies, you know, since Arsenal last won the trophy. You know, it's just it's fucking weird. They crapping on, I don't know, Inzaghi and Mourinho, you know, and Ancelotti. They say they're washed, or they'll say, you know, they came from the Farmers League. It's funny. These farmers are harvesting trophies, not just in their countries but in Europe. It's just like, I don't want to get in details about them. It's just it's pathetic, you know. Like, these managers are better than him. They're getting the best out of these players. Yeah, they got tactical players. They made them tactical. Arteta didn't make the player tactical. Let's be real. He should have took a smaller job. You know, like managing a smaller club. Then taking this job is too big for him. Should have got like a winning coach. You know, I think they kind of shut themselves in the foot. I think it's just like, you know, and now they've got dogs, you know, in this club. It's turned to a clown show, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. You know, it's just, you know, this is state of English football or modern day football. You got too many coaches. Our jobs are the boys. They're just like doing this whole play out the back stuff. They're just copying what Pep does. You know, you can't do that because you can't beat the master. You got to come up with your own style. It's time to get some good coaches. Like, I watched Barcelona versus Inter Milan. I didn't see the second leg, but seen the first leg. It was really the best game I ever saw, like, in a long time. I didn't see Hansi Flick or Simone Inzaghi, you know, seeing the Barca players, Inter Milan players playing out the back. They're going straight forward. It's not U-shaped football, you know, side to side passing. It's straightforward. Get passing the ball quicker. And in those two games are really entertaining. It was a 6-goal thriller, 7-goal thriller. So basically 6 or 7. I think that's 13. It's a 13-goal thriller in those two legs. 13 goals in two games. That was really good. Arteta, it's so boring to watch. You know, people get bored of it. You know, and people believing that this guy is the best young coach in world football. He's not. He's won one trophy. Maybe he had one or two accolades, personal accolades, but it's the trophy is matter. It's about winning. If you don't win, you lost. That's it. You can't just blame it. You can't just say, "Oh, we finished eighth, second, maybe second for the third time." But no, you've got to win. Yeah, it's okay finishing league position, but you got to win trophies. That's the name of the game. You know, in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, is people going to remember Mikel Arteta's Arsenal? Probably not. Is people remember Kevin Keegan's Newcastle? Not really because they haven't won anything. Same as that Leeds team under David O'Leary. They haven't won anything. I'm not being disrespectful. It's kind of true. Trophies matter. It's okay to have the good players, but can you produce a trophy? Yes or no? If it's no, people might not remember that team in decades' time. It's just what it is. So yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the only way this dude's gonna get sacked if Arsenal have a very bad start of next season. But it's gonna be peak this summer, unless this Andre Berto's producing magic. You know, getting players in the club and getting players out of the club. I don't want, and also it's funny, like these people dismissing other managers like Mourinho, Conte, Klopp, Ancelotti. Check Arteta's Twitter and Instagram. That guy has got 1 million followers on Insta and X, slash Twitter. He's not popular. He's not popular than Mourinho or Klopp and Ancelotti and Pep because they're winners. They're proper winners. This dude's just not a winner. We see it every single season, and people gassing up every time. Like, this is what Arsenal fans online do. Every time Arsenal in a very bad form, they'll say Arteta out. When we slapped one team after the defeat, we're back. Blah blah blah. It's just like, and also slagging off like Arsenal fans online. They really would call this manager out. Like, you gotta realize we don't think like you. We got our own minds. We don't go like, yep, Arteta's the saviour. No, I think this guy's not good enough. He's not doing anything for this club. He's not taking this club forward. Well, Arsenal should be challenging for the title, or actually they should have winning the title. Challenging and winning the title and win something in Europe. They haven't done that in 30 years. I don't want to go in details of it, so that's my 2 cents of it. So yeah, I'm not gonna shout and effing and jeffing. It's it's just what it is, man. So leave your thoughts on the comment section below, and subscribe to my main channel, and also subscribe to this channel, Century Man Sports. By the way, the update video of the secondary channel will be pretty coming down soon, so stay tuned to that. And